What's going on, people? Welcome back to JSTV back again, and had a few days off from streaming, and it's good to have Tony with us. How's Tony?
Hi, John. Hope you're well. It's coming home. It's coming home.
Yeah, football's coming home. Football's
Let's
coming
hope.
home. And,
We've got to hope, John. We've got to hope. We've got to hope.
We have to now. Like, I mean, look, people's going to say that we're not going to have to beat Spain, but you know what it is, right? I mean, we're in the final for a reason, and Spain is in our way between us and winning the trophy.
Yeah, but everybody wrote Man United off against Man City in the FA Cup final. So, finals are funny. And, Spain could have a stinker on Sunday. Who knows?
Exactly. But you know what? They got a cracking team there, Spain. They're the best team in the competition, and they proved it to us. But anyway, if you like what you watch, guys, make sure you like and subscribe. Super chat will open as well. If you'd like to leave a donation, then it's always open. And if you'd like to become a member, it's just 99p. Before I start the show, Tony, I've got this, right? CJI, one of those vlogging things.
All right, yeah.
Costs a lot of money, but it's good for like match day vlogs and that. So best piece of kit I've bought for a long time. And when you use the phones and that to do your vlogs and that, this is really good. So a lot of money. So I'm chuffed with what I got. So there you go. So
yeah, I've got a GoPro, which is really, really good because you can do slow mos and everything with it. It's ultra high definition, everything, John. It's cost me over 400 quid for the camera on its own before without the stand.
Flipping heck. I got the stand as well. That cost us 600 quid. So I just bang on my card, like, do you know what I mean, before it goes up. But they're very popular. Yeah. They're worth buying. And there's so many people buying it, like, do you know what I mean? So if you get a chance, if you do your vlogs, that's the way to go. And it's a lot of money. Let's go for the comments before you talk about England. Big up to AFC always, Big Gula. Well, hope you well, mate. In 2014, Wack is on loan from Western. 10 years later, he's just sent England to the Euros 2024 final. Do you know what? What a finish, by the way. I can't lie. Spain has been the best team in this tournament by Courtney Mile. 100%. And that young lad we're going to talk to you later on, Lamau and Neco Williams as well. Big up to Lee. I hope you're well. Even so, me and Tony and everyone get in there. England can do it because Gordon gets a chance. Lee, I'd love to see him get a chance, but you know what? Gav will not pick him. Big up to Ian. Hope you're well. Hi to Julie J. Hope you're well and your family as well. And also Lee and again Jay. Right, let's go straight on to last night's game. England won by 2-1. With goals from Harry Kane for the penalty spot and a wonder goal for Watkins. But Tony, I mean, we didn't get off to the best of starts. I mean, look, it's buzzing. We was buzzed for this game. One step away from the final, right? Is Gav going to put the same team again? He's going to play the same style. He made one change, and that was that really. Dan Geary came in and Consul went to the subs bench. And Tony, give us a little breakdown on yesterday's game, man. I mean, you've got to be buzzed.
Yeah, God, absolutely, John. I mean, look, right? He makes a change. I expect Gate to come in all day because, he was missing and he's played brilliant in this tournament. You can't just leave him out. Although Consa stepped in and done well on Saturday, but Mark Gay was coming back in all day long.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, likes of Rory Jennings, who has criticised Trippier, Southgate again defending Trippier and saying, he says it's a privilege. I mean, this is Southgate himself saying it's absolutely a privilege to have the calibre of Kieran Trippier in the England squad because he's got that much experience from tournaments. All the younger players can learn a lot from Kieran Trippier and he talks to them all the time. The likes of Anthony Gordon, the likes of Adam Morton and Kobbie Mainoo and all that. And he's always talking to them and explaining to them about tournaments. And look, the thing is, the thing is with Kieran Trippier, that Southgate's actually made a beeline defending him, and people like Rory Jennings just need to keep their comments to themselves. If they can't say anything positive, don't speak at all. because Kieran Trippier hasn't been the worst player in the tournament by far.
No.
Up until yesterday, I was going to say Phil Foden's probably been our worst player. But look, I mean, yes, we didn't get off to the great start. I mean, Rice lost the ball in midfield, whether he slipped or whatever. Xavi Simons got it, went through, put a shot past. No way Pickford saving that, no keeper saving that. Great shot into the corner, top corner, and 1-0 down, and you're thinking, oh, here we go. But I wasn't worried about it because I thought, it's early. We've got plenty of time to turn this game around. You know, it's only 7 minutes in. Yes, they've got a goal. You know, it was a great goal. Can't take it away from the lad. He's a good player, Xavi Simons. I would love to see him at Newcastle. I've said this for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm. What a player he is.
Yeah. But then on 16 minutes, Kane had a shot, which went wild, which went way past the post. And Kane was on the ground, rolling around, and the referee waved any claims away for a penalty, because a lot of things were made about this referee coming into this game, because when he was a linesman, let's get this right, when he was a linesman, he took a €300 bung to throw a decision. Now then, he's done his time, he's had his time. Yes, okay, he should, when he was a referee, he didn't give a penalty for Borussia Dortmund, which was a stonewall penalty, and that's why Bellingham criticised him. And he got a £40,000 fine for that, a €40,000 fine for that, Bellingham. So he waved away the penalty appeals. Then ITV commentator said they asked their adjudicator, who they've got, an ex-FIFA referee, Christina Unkel, and she said, VAR won't need to get involved in this. It's not a penalty. That's it, you know. And then there was a bit of a delay, and then we heard Sam Matterface, oh, hang on a minute, we're getting news that there is a VAR check into this penalty. Send the referee to the monitor. Now, when I saw the challenge back, my initial thought was, that's a penalty. And the reason I say that is because, although Kane's got the shot away, but it's the fact that Dumfries has come in late with his studs held high, showing his studs, and he's gone straight into Kane. Now, a late challenge anywhere on the field, that results in a free kick. So me, I was like, that's got to be a penalty. When the referee went them on, I thought, this is going to be turned around, this is going to be a penalty. He's going to give it because, you know, why else would VAR have asked him to go to the monitor if they didn't think it was a clear and obvious error? So he went to the monitor, back, pointed to the spot. I was like, straight away, come on. And look, you saw the pressure Kane's under to take that penalty in a semi-final. You know, that is not easy to take the penalty in that sort of game where your team's 1-0 down, you're playing in a semi-final, knowing that if you win that game, you're into a final. The amount of pressure that must be on a player to take that penalty, you've got to have balls of steel, let's be honest. And, you know, we saw Kane compose himself. And look, he struck the penalty beautifully.
Yeah.
No keeper was getting near that. You know, you'd have to have massively long arms to get near that penalty because that was not being saved one bit. The sheer power, the pace of how far it was into the corner, Verbruggen nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. It was past him before he got his hands there. And then we went on and controlled the game, which I thought in the first half, we played reasonably well. And I thought we're getting better here. We're starting to show what we are actually made of. And we're starting to see the real intent. Phil Foden all of a sudden turned up to the tournament and started producing. And I'm like, hang on, where's these performances been? Through the group games, against Slovakia, okay, we saw an improvement against the Swiss, but this was even a bigger improvement than the Swiss game. You know, Foden had that shot which went through the legs of Verbruggen. Now, if Verbruggen doesn't get a deflection on that, that's in the bottom corner and that's in the back of the net.
Great.
But because that slight deflection off the that gives Dumfries a chance to clear it off the line. And then he had a shot from outside the box. What a wonderful shot from Foden, and it hit the post. And that shot was worthy of a goal all day. That was one hell of a shot. And I'm thinking, hang on, where's Foden been? Why has he turned up all of a sudden in the semi-final? Why has it took him to the semi-final to turn up now and show us that he what he does for Man City, he's doing on the football field for England now, And I didn't want that half to end because I thought we were the better team. We saw Memphis Depay go off with a hamstring injury. Somebody who thinks he looks like a tennis player wearing that sweatband, because let's be honest, you don't often see players wear sweatbands like that. It's more like in Wimbledon or wherever. But look, he went off injured. They brought another midfielder on. Half time, I was used to be happy. I thought, that's not bad. We are playing well now. Come out the second half. We can get an early goal. We've got this, But Koeman seemed to change something at half time and seemed to tighten up and make it a bit more compact to try and make it difficult for England.
Did?
We couldn't get into our straight after the half. In the second half, it seemed to be a bit of a scrappy second half between both sets of teams. Obviously, back in that first half, Dumfries had a shot which hit the bar off the header. And obviously, Ake backheaded one which went well wide. But second half, they had shots. There was a shot on goal which Pickford saved, which was a brilliant save. They brought on Wout Weghorst, to try and rough up the players and get the goal back. We saw Trippier go off at half-time and be replaced by Luke Shaw, which I thought was a great move because you're giving Luke Shaw 45 minutes after the 40-odd minutes he had the other day. Just give him some more minutes in the tank. And I thought Shaw played well when he came on. That ball he put in the box was absolutely first class. Just a shame nobody was on the end of it. Yes, we scored one on 80 minutes with Saka, but unfortunately Kyle Walker was just a little bit too eager and was just slightly offside. If he had just held his run a little bit, But Walker had a great game last night as well. Kyle Walker, he put some great tackles in. I mean, that tackle in the box, to not give away a penalty, what a tackle that was. Walker turned up, as well. The whole England team turned up last night. And then we saw the subs come on. Palmer, Watkins, yes. We know Gordon was warming up as well. So was Jared Bowen. And, the game just turned ecstasy, didn't it, in 90 minutes? Because in 90 minutes, that ball from Palmer through to Watkins. Watkins turns on the ball, puts it through De Vries' legs and smashes it past De Bruyne and into the back of the net. And that was a hell of a goal from Watkins, let's be honest. At that point, when that goal went in, I was off my chair. I jumped in the air. I was off my chair, running around the living room, loving it because, look, the fact that we were into another final, like literally into another final, I'm just like, brilliant this, and look, yes, we were well into the 2 minutes of added on time, but there was numerous substitutions taking place. But then final whistle went, but what I did like was when Watkins scored that goal, how late it was. Obviously, it was going to kill any Dutch comeback. But I liked the way all the subs just ran on the field as well and celebrated with him as well. We're starting to copy what other teams do with substitutes, and it's fantastic now to see our substitutes just do that run on the field. The Portuguese do it, French do it. So why not we do it? And I thought it was brilliant. And, final whistle went in just to be in another final again. Sweet Caroline playing. It was absolutely fantastic. Fantastic night in Dortmund. I mean, I remember when we went to Dortmund, we got beat there 2-0. So it was nice to see England win this time there on Jude Bellingham's ex-home ground. Even when Jude Bellingham won that free kick in injury time, Anthony Gordon was on the sideline celebrating with him. Celebrating the fact that Jude Bellingham got fouled and got a free kick. They were both celebrating, and I thought that was brilliant to see. And look, at the end of the day, when the whistle went, all the players and that came on, the subs and everything running on, Anthony Gordon was well involved, considering the other day he didn't look very well involved, but this time he was. And even Southgate gave him a hug as well, which I thought was a great touch from Southgate, by the way. So, all in all, absolutely brilliant. I was glad it didn't go to extra time or anything. But one thing I will say is, this is karma for Koeman, because in '93, that man should have been sent off against England for that disgraceful foul he did. and how he only got a yellow card for that. And I love the way Graham Taylor walked up to the fourth official at the end of that game and said, "Thanks for that. Tell the referee, thank you for that decision, because he's just got me sacked." You know, and I thought that was absolutely fantastic.
Beautiful, wasn't it?
Because he's absolutely spot on. But yeah, so karma, that was for Koeman. England got that karma. But look, we're in another final, John. I know people are going to say Spain are the favourites and everything like that. But you know what, John? People are going to say that was a dubious penalty. I don't care how dubious that penalty is. I couldn't care less, because at the end of the day, how many decisions have England been on the wrong side of? Lampard goal, 2010 against Germany in South Africa, well over the line. You know?
You know it.
The hand of God from the cheat that is Diego Maradona in 86, you know? Another one. So, look, we've been there. We've been on the wrong end of decisions. We've got one going for us. Now, I know that papers around Europe have said, oh, it's a match. The match has been fixed because they've had a match fixing referee and all this. That's wrong to do that. I'm sorry. At the end of the day, wasn't the referee who gave the penalty. It was VAR who told him to give the penalty, because he never gave it at the start.
Fact. Absolute fact. Well analysed, Tony. Well analysed. Thank you, man. We're going to go some comments as well, because there's loads as well. Keep them coming in, please. X-Watchers, if you watch us from X, please jump on YouTube and sub the channel. That'd be fantastic. Thank you very much. Lorraine, welcome back, Lorraine. Love you always, and I hope you're well. We have missed you. And there's comments from Lorraine. Me too, Tony. Love me G Pro 400 Plus without all the accessories. I've got all the mine. Didn't get the SIM card. Bought one today. I've got it and it's working. I love it for underwater shots and videos, but I don't know how to do half of the features. That's for Lorraine. Thank you very much for that. Tell hello to you, Garrett. Hope you're well. Hi to Julia Ganger. Had a better game. He did, but he got hooked at half time. And even though to again to Lorraine, hope you're good. Hi to Lee. Hi to everyone. Hi to Alan as well. Feeling confident for the final, or will England get battered like Darwin Núñez did last night? You know what? We're going to touch on that later on. We've seen the clips, man, Mark, and believe you me. Do you know what? I've got something to say about that. Joking aside, for worrying to think the World Cup will be held there in 2 years' time, massive breach in security officials were nowhere in sight. Thank you very much indeed. I tried to explain that this morning, and people are asking us, where's the family? Are the family in the stands? Yes, they were. They were in the stand. Yeah. And half the answer I just didn't answer back. Talk about that later on. I'm mad there's no trouble. It's karma for 93. It's about time that Ronald paid for his red card he should have got. Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
Absolute facts. And during the Copa America in the end, yeah, that's going on. The Copa America as well. And everyone's seen that, what's going on. Germany and that. And John, careful about posting your kit on X. There's a lot of money and you don't know who's tagging what. Just discreetly add to a vlog how you have done the video and tag it on the end. I can see where she's coming from, to be fair.
Yeah.
I can see where she's really coming from. But thanks for that, Lauren. I appreciate that. Like, I mean, you could be right. I think you're right in what you're saying. I could have put a star and quite one later on. Now, mate, for what I've seen in Germany, has been a great host. Credit to them.
Yeah, they have, John. They've hosted it very well.
They've been brilliant. It's just a shame the competition's been poor. I mean, we're not going to remember this competition for years, yeah, apart from that one game, probably in the final. Why do you think Andy's had only 4 men? I can't be doing this confidence any good, knowing that boss doesn't think he's good enough for a start. I mean, you know what it is, right? I mean, I'm a bit peeved that Andy's not getting a chance, Tony, yeah? But Gav's got his reasons, yeah? He's not going to change it.
Well, that's it, John. I mean, look, there must be something there, but, you know, we don't know what it is, but at the end of the day, he's obviously happy in the camp, Anthony Gordon, because the way he celebrated with the team and then the way he went over to the fans and clapped to the fans as well. So, look, I think they've got a good harmony in that team. But just one thing to touch on, if we do beat Spain on Sunday in that final, we'll have 2 double-double winners in the team collecting their medals on Sunday, and that is Anthony Gordon and Cole Palmer, because they won the Euros under-21s last year, so they could do the double-double. And remember, Gordon was player of the tournament there, and he can't even get a start in this game. in this team.
Yeah.
Or even get any game time apart from that 4 minutes he had. But you never know. Southgate might bring him on in the final.
Yeah, you just never know. If you go 3-0 up, he'll probably do that, but I don't think he will. This is Gareth Southgate. We're talking about people. This is Gareth Southgate who trusts his the players, trusts his teammates, trusts loyal to his players. Yeah, he's not going to change anytime soon. But
thing is, though, John,
it's working for him at the minute.
Yeah, thing is, though, John, right? Yes, we're not. I know there's people out there. We're not that massively keen on Southgate for things he does, but right,
yeah.
Put it aside, Gareth Southgate aside from what he does. But look, it just looks like some certain decisions he's been making, he's got them right. And I'm not defending Southgate for one bit, but what I'm saying is the record he's had since England manager, apart from winning the trophy, well, hang on, we could win one Sunday. Remember now, we have been in 2 successive Euro finals now. So, we've been in 2 of them. Yes, we lost the last one, but we could win this one. We've been in a World Cup semi-final, a World Cup quarter-final, a Nations League semi-final, which we were unlucky to lose that to Holland. So if you look at Gareth Southgate's record as England manager, it's better than a lot of managers out there that England have had. And I know Bobby Robson was great for England. He got us to a World Cup semi-final as well. Bobby Robson, he's up there as well. But, we've had some stonkers of England managers, Graham Taylor, the Wally with the Brolly, McLaren,
Yeah.
So, look, I know people's got their opinions of Southgate, but what you've got to say is, we're at 2 finals now. We were at 1 3 years ago. Yes, we should have beat Italy in that final, in all honesty. But you know what? France didn't win their first final, but they won the second final. So maybe there could be an omen there. We could win the second final. All because Spain have been playing great through this tournament, which they have, and, don't take it away from them. But, a lot of people are saying, Spain will absolutely hammer us. How do you know Spain will hammer us? They might not. Because we've played very well defensively. And, look, I think Spain could be there for the taking. When I've watched the games for Spain, especially like Germany had so many chances against Spain. So, but this time, just let us go 1-0 up rather than going 1-0 down. Because I think if we could go 1-0 down to Spain, it could be an uphill struggle. So, but, Spain are not unbeatable. We can beat them. And if we turn up like we did yesterday, we can go out there and quite easily beat Spain. Let's hope we do that, I don't think Trippier will start on Sunday. I think Luke Shaw's going to start because he's now had over 80-odd minutes of football. So I think he could well start.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think he'll come in. He'll definitely come in a game like this, and he will. He got the yellow card on England bench. I should have got booked on that one there. Some must have been said.
But, somebody got booked one of the subs, I think.
Yeah, I know Simon's got booked after he scored a winner. Somebody said to the ref, but we find out in a bit. I'm sure someone in the chat will know who got booked.
Van Dijk got booked as well for having to go to the referee as well.
Yeah, he did. That ain't good. Just frustration, trying to waste a bit of time. I hope AG gets some games time in the final. I can't say Alan, to be fair. If not, he'll get a hero's welcome from the Toon fans, especially if we win the competition as well. Tony, hopefully the French ref will be on our side as Spain knocked out his country. Wow.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Very interesting. Absolutely. We'll see what happens.
I mean, John, what did you make of that? What did you make of that referee last night? Do you think he was good? He was flashing a lot of yellow cards around, wasn't he? But, do you think he handled the game pretty well, or do you think he could have been better? But nice to get a penalty from a German ref.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the only good thing about it. But I thought the referee was very, very strong. Very, very strong. Do you know what I mean? And I would have had him in that game in the first place because what he's done in the past. But I thought he handled it a bit well. I thought he was quite fair. I'm glad that Okay, at the end of the day, right? I mean, I thought Bellingham's booking was unlucky because he went for the ball.
Yeah.
Very unlucky. Yeah. I thought he missed a Saha handball, which should have been a pen. But I'm not going to lie on that. But I'm going to get one quiet. But so that was definitely a pen. Yeah. But I think he did okay. I wouldn't say the best way. He handled it well in a game like this.
I mean, I thought, as well, I thought Kobe Mainoo done all right. But I did
very well.
But I did lose me rag at the TV at him on one occasion because I thought it was very, very naive from him, and he has to start learning quickly from this, because what he tried to do was he tried to put a ball through to Kane when Walker wasn't. Ake has a space on the right wing, and I was screaming, "Get the ball to Walker, Walker, Walker!" And he puts it through to Kane, and I'm like, "What the hell is he doing? Why are you doing that? How, look, mate, look, man, at the player, look at the players." But, that's going to come with experience, But that's the only thing I was critical of Kobe Mainoo. Other than that, I thought he had a good game, yeah.
Yeah.
He's only a young lad. He's got a lot to learn, though.
100%. I rate this guy very, very highly. Kobe Mainoo. That guy should be in that squad in the next 10 years. That place is going to be his as well. Come on, Tony. England won the World Cup with a goal that should not have been. That was back in 1966 when 3-2.
Yeah, before my time, unfortunately.
And my time as well. Never.
But we didn't have the technology back then like we have now to analyse that sort of thing. So
exactly.
At the end of the day, the record books say it was a goal, Ian, unfortunately. So that's what it is.
Yeah. True. It is what it is. Even to Aaron, hope you well, mate. Keep the fifth. We'll have to on Sunday. I'm here with my injuries, memories, and paradise. It's great to see you back, Lorraine. Get well soon. And that's why we got to love Lorraine. You know what I mean? And as for the pen, I thought it's dead on. Still do. Do not understand how anyone could think it could be considered as something that should have been judged out of hand as never a pen. I mean,
Gary Neville said it was. Gary Neville said it's never a penalty. So did Roy Keane. I mean, Gary Neville said, if you can't put a tackle in like that in the box, then what is the point of playing football? And I say, yeah, but come on, it's a penalty. And even Ian Wright said that's a penalty all day.
All day long.
Because he studs her up.
And he caught him after the boys' kits. Then again, right? If they miss it, they're not bothered. That's the problem. That's the problem. But I thought Kane should have scored anyway. He should have scored that anyway when he placed over the bar. He should have.
If that was us, Newcastle in a semi-final, and that happened to Isak, and the referee said no penalty, and it went to VAR, and they gave the penalty, do you think we would be sitting there saying, "Oh, well, that's not really a pen"? No, we wouldn't be.
No, we wouldn't.
As I say, at the end of the day, sometimes you get your own luck, but sometimes, things even themselves out, as they always say, things even themselves out, and maybe we just got the rub of the green last night, and we got the penalty, and I don't care what anybody else says. At the end of the day, I don't care how dubious they think the penalty is. At the end of the day, we got the penalty, we equalised, we went on and won the game. We won the game fair and square as far as I'm concerned. And I don't know if anybody's seen the picture going around, but Virgil van Dijk is being interviewed on field. And you know how they got the plastic screens up. And Jordan Pickford standing at the other side of the screen laughing, giving the waves as well. I think it's brilliant. I mean, look, as much as I know we don't really, we give him stick when he comes to St. James's Park, we call him T-Rex and all this.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, the shithousery that man has is unbelievable. And, and I'm not saying this is going to happen, but just say, for instance, he was to leave Everton and Newcastle bid for him, and he said, "Oh yeah, I'll come to Newcastle. I'm not a Mackham, but I don't care. I'll put me royalties to one side and I'll come in." That's the type of shithousery you want, because that's how our team plays, with that shithousery. And I'm not saying Pickford's come to Newcastle, by the way, because
he won't come to Newcastle.
But I'd like to see Nick Pope come out with some sort of shithousery like that. But look, at the end of the day, he plays the game. He's played well for England. He's been probably one of England's best goalkeepers. Especially in the tournaments. And look, I don't mind that sort of thing that goes on at the end of a game. I think it's brilliant for the game, if I'm honest, and It, you want characters like that. Bruce Grobler used to be a character of the game when he played in goal. He was the clown, wasn't he? So
He was.
we've seen plenty goalkeepers like that, and I don't mind it one bit. What about you, John? Did you see that picture?
Yeah, I did. He is a bit of a shit house. He Pickford, didn't he? My God. He's just worse than that. You know what? Everyone hates him. No Newcastle fans likes him. I get it. But when he plays for England, put the rivals to one side and back the lad. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's in the final for a reason. Was it 3 semi-finals and inside 4 competitions and that? Hopefully 2 finals. Twice in Euros as well. We've got to win the thing. Like, you've got to get over the line. What?
Did you see his interview? Pickford, I don't know if he did or not, John, but they asked him about the penalty shootout against Italy. And it was when Jorginho's ready to take it, when Jorginho was going to take his penalty.
Yeah.
He said the referee went up to Pickford and said, just to let you know, obviously, if Italy score now, that's the game over, okay? Just to let you know.
Yeah.
And Pickford says, I said the referee, he's not scoring because I'm saving it.
And he did.
And he did.
And he did. So the referee just wasted his words there, didn't he? Bosh.
Because apparently when he saved that penalty, apparently that annoyed Jorginho because he expects to score every penalty. And he didn't like the fact that Pickford waited.
He didn't, did he? But it didn't really matter because you missed the next one as well, and that was game over.
It's a shame, yeah. It's a shame.
We should have won.
One of the players that I thought would have scored in that final, in that penalty shootout, would have been Marcus Rashford.
Yeah.
And that really surprised me. He didn't even score.
Nah, Saka didn't score neither.
But that was the first ever penalty Saka took in his life, so, you can't blame the guy.
I know. Well, he takes it for Arsenal, but you're right. But his confidence is up anyway. But see what happens. We go for the comments, so we're going to talk about a different subject in a minute. Yeah, it's going to be quite interesting. If his family was in the stands, why was he attempted to hurl chairs in the stands? And talking about that Copa America, Uruguay, Colombia, that's a fair shout. I mean, there's people saying different things, man, but I can see where you come from, Lorraine, that he shouldn't go into the crowd, but at the same time, I can understand why he went in to look for his family, and he got to look at the family, so they come first all the time. Let's go on to the next one. Player of the tournament for U21s, Newcastle's player of the season. Player of the tournament, the under 21s. I think he's talking about Anthony Gordon.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, Anthony Gordon was. Yeah, last year.
I had to think then. Do apologise. Bosh. What in the body? Ten Hag's pet.
Yes.
I tell you what, they got Van Nistelrooy as well. Wow. I tell you what, I hate to tell you, they're going to do well this season. I hate to tell you that. But they got that Xerxes as well for Bologna. I tell you what, that's a big signing. We should be after this guy. McLaren's one of the worst that there ever was worse than Steve Bruce. That. No, one good thing, at least Gordon will have no injuries for the new season. That's a fair shout, Alan. He speaks sense.
I've said this, John. I said that a couple of weeks ago. I said, if I put me black and white glasses on, at least Gordon's not going to have, get risk of an injury and return to Newcastle and not be able to start the season. So, that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, very true. While some building Manu up, he's not all that and made a couple of errors. So, that guy, I tell you what, he is the real deal. I mean, look, people's got an opinion, right? People's got to say, and I respect yours, and you know that. We have a friendly banter. Bottom line is, right, this guy, I mean, he was already a good player. He was already a fantastic player, yeah? And I rate this guy. I mean, for me, right, I'm judging this guy by his performance, yeah? And he had a brilliant performance. Lewis Miley, I'd love to see Lewis Miley for England, 110%. But is he ever going to get in the England squad? I hope he does. I really do hope he does. Yeah. I hope he makes the World Cup. Yeah, if he performs for us and keep doing what he's doing, then he'll make the World Cup. No problems at all whatsoever. Simple as that. Because I'll tell you one thing for sure. Lewis Miley is better than Conor Gallagher. I don't care what anyone say. Simple as that. Gallagher is just a road runner. I'm sorry about that, but it's what it is. Just running you up, Tony. What a result. Come on, England. Let's beat Spain. And what a game by Foden and Saka and Watkins. Trevor, you're absolutely right. Big up to you, man. Oh my God, Roy Keane. What's up with him? Why couldn't he be happy for England? And has Pickford got the correct collar shirt on in that picture? That's in part my style. Bigger to you, Pop. Could be. And look at Emil Martinez. The guy's a king of shithousey. I love that kind of stuff. That's from Aaron. Indeed. Roy Keane, who is he? Oh, you Fox Faith United. I'm loving Pickford water bottles with the post-in penalty takers listed on them.
Yeah.
I like it as well.
He's had that since the World Cup 2018. He's always done that. That's, but again, I asked him about that, and he said it's what the coaching team do. They look at every penalty taker in that team, and they watch them take penalties and see which way they go and everything and how to do it. And it's all sports science at the end of the day. That's what Eddie Howe's big on, sports science as well. So that's what it's all about, sports science.
Exactly, yeah. That's very true. I think you've got Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank as well, a part of the team. I heard we've got Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. Yes, we have.
Somebody's saying about that shirt, a colour shirt. Yes, he did. He wore green shirt last night, so maybe somebody was just taking the mickey and just done a Photoshop of it. But you know,
fair dues. Yeah. That's what I've heard as well. But I mean, Jimmy Floyd, he was fantastic in this time as well. Good evening to Gary D. Hope you're well, mate. And to Trevor, I'd like to ask a question: is Foden thrown off the midfield, and is the way Southgate forcing Jude to play basically left wing created that dysfunction in the midfield? Why not start with Watkins and Foden? I can see your point, Mark. In a way, bigger to Mark, big United fan, by the way. And the thing is, right? I mean, look, I don't want to see Bellingham on the left-hand side. I really don't. If you're going to play 2-10s, then it looks like you're going to have to play 4-3-3. And Gav ain't going to play that. But if you're going to play Foden, Bellingham, and Kane up front, he's going to play a back three. So for me, I think Foden and Bellingham rotate the 10 role. That's what I'm looking at as well. Foden's everywhere. Bellingham's going to play in the cover that 10 role. Saka, he helps to defend as well. And that's for me. I think that's a good shout, mate. But I think Southgate's going to choose the same attacking side on Sunday.
I think he will. I mean, to be honest, John, when Watkins came on, I was a bit like, oh, Watkins. No, not Watkins. Why can't we bring Tony on? But you know what? I took it back. I said, no, okay. He scored the goal and a cracking goal. I'll give him, when you think that lad was playing at Weston-super-Mare 10 years ago, now he's got England into a final, just shows you never give up. Never give up on your dreams.
Fact. Just keep going on that. Just keep doing what you're doing. Simple as that. And Darwin attempted to throw the chair. It was pitfall. He couldn't even get that on target. Wow. We've got to hijack Gallifrey as well. There's rumours he's going to Arsenal, but I still think he'd end up going to Juventus. Watch this space. And Ugarte and Euro did lit as well. Ugarte is gettable. Euro, I think he'll wait for a Real Madrid move. I'm sorry to tell you that, Mark, but he looks a fantastic talent. That guy plays for Lille. You haven't watched this guy play? He is a baller. Best wishes to Amanda. What a great one. We're going to come on to that as well, and in a bit. Hold that thought. Wait, what? Manu isn't called Stockport Iniesta. It's called Gubby. And yes, big up, Luca. Big Guna. He is so passionate. People say that he's negative. He's trying to be like Lee Gunner. But at the end of the day, Luca's Luca, and he's got an opinion like everybody else. He just wants his team to be successful. Do you know what I mean? It's as simple as that, man. Big up, fine. Luca, hope you're well too, mate. You cannot really compare Miley with Mainey. Mainey is 18 months old and played 3 times as many matches as Lewis. Woo! Wow. And Mainey's doing this thing. The eyes don't lie. But why don't it have to be who's better between him and Miley? Isn't Miley an attacking mid or winger? 2 different types of players. I mean, Lewis Miley, he's a central mid. He's a 6. He plays in link right between 6 and the attacking as well. He just plays the easy ball as well. But he looks tight on the ball. Yeah, but what you have to understand of Lewis, He's raw, right? He's not there yet. He's a good player. He's getting there. He's a talent, but you can't big up an overhyped 18-year-old like that, But he'll come good, and I'm a big fan of this guy. Let's put it this way, Tony. I choose him over 36.
Definitely, yeah.
And mind you, is a hybrid 6 and 8. And let's go on to was P me off. Most of the Dutch fans attacking English fans. I've seen that. That is absolutely wonderful, man. And so on what I've read that as well. Thank you so much indeed. We all know Roy Keane mixed up was only because his team haven't made it to the Euros. Mark said big up to Luca. 3 times. What? Lewis Manley started playing in the Prem before Manley. Manley's first game was in September, and Cobby started in late October. And Ian, you're right, Tony. I never give up my dreams of Scotland winning the Euros and Euro Cup. I don't know whose donation that is, Tony. Is that my donation? Is that your donation?
He's put it on my chat. Thank you very much, Ian, for your donation. Thank you.
Oh, where's mine, Ian Fleming? On my channel? No, well done, Tony. Well deserved, man. You deserve it. And
you're never going to win. Scotland won't win the Euros or the World Cup. Yeah.
No, exactly. Foden,
although somebody decided to make an account up of Scott McTominay last night and put out saying rigged, but it wasn't Scott McTominay. It was a parody account, apparently. So if you do see it, ignore it. It's not actually Scott McTominay, so don't give him any stick.
No, definitely not. Foden should be in the middle. He offers more than us in the semi, playing there, and that's the natural position for us too. Wherever Foden plays on the left for us, he always looks out of place. And that's I'm a big City fan, and he knows a lot about Phil, so he knows about him, and that's what he's talking about. And for me, when I watch Foden, he's definitely a 10. That's my opinion, John. It is. Thank you, Lorraine. Friendly one, that is. No, me and Lorraine gets on really well. And I bet you've got a Spain. I bet you've got a Spain's jersey ready for Sunday, Ian, and that as well. Even with Luca and Mark, Tilton Big Manny has started a lot more matches than Manny's back injury. And then goes like a lane. I'll be so real. Foden should be on the bench. He doesn't even play in the mid for City when De Bruyne is on the pitch. And I'm off to London on Sunday to fan box. You have a good time, Trev, as well. So before we go into Amanda, can we run on Sunday, Tony? It's possible.
Of course we can, John. It's 11v11 at the end of the day. Yes, okay, Spain have been great in this tournament. We know they have. They played well. But, doesn't mean to say that we can't go out there and beat them, So, look, we'll just have to see what happens. But, at the end of the day, we've got a squad good enough to win the Euros. Let's be honest. If you look at that squad is good enough to win the Euros and should be winning the Euros. I wish I'd put a bet on the scoreline now, because I did say yesterday England will win 2-1, and I got the scoreline right, 2-1.
I said 2-1.
I didn't name me scorers, but I said 2-1. Although I did win some money back off a bet, because I did put on that England would win anyway. But yeah, so look, we can win on Sunday. I think we can win. If we obviously turned up yesterday and looked a better outfit yesterday in that first half. Obviously, Dutch changed up the second half because obviously we were threatening them too much. That's the thing. We've got match winners in that team. Of course we can win that game. Why not? If we can't believe we're going to win the game, then what's the point of watching the England match on Sunday? So look, enjoy it. Look, we're in another final. 2 finals in a row now. It just shows you how good English football actually is, And as much as you may be negative about Southgate or whatever, you've got to give the man credit where we are. Credit where credit's due, unfortunately. Because look, how much he's done so well. I mean, his first tournament in the World Cup, he got to a semi-final. Okay, we probably should have gone on to the final and played France in that final. in all honesty, but we didn't. But we got to a semi-final, which is the furthest we'd got for a long, long time. Remember Euro 2016?
Yeah.
We only got as far as the second round before we got knocked out by Iceland under Roy Hodgson. And then, obviously, the next Euro should have been 4 years later, but it was 5 years later because of COVID. And again, we get to the final of that one. That's, but going from the Euros to the World Cup in 2 years, that amount of progression to get knocked out in the second round of the Euros when everybody was down in the dumps. I mean, that was a game I'll never forget against Iceland. I just couldn't believe what I was watching that night. And from getting beat from Iceland to then 2 years later being at the World Cup in Russia and getting to a semi-final, nobody would have thought of that. Nobody would have thought of that. So look, I think, yes, he's got his critics, Southgate, we know that. But you've got to give credit where credit's due, I think, as well. I don't know if you agree with me, John, but, about Southgate, what's your thoughts?
Look, I mean, Gary Obongo is not a Southgate fan at all whatsoever. He does not like him at all whatsoever. But for me, right, I had that argument this morning. If he wins us the Euros, is he going to be a world-class manager? For me, it'd be definitely no. I still think he's an average manager, I'm not going to lie. But there's things he could have done to make it better, like make the subs early, be proactive, not reactive. Yeah. After 60 minutes, if you don't perform after 60 minutes, change it up. He hasn't done that. Even though we go goal behind, he does after 70-odd minutes and that. Yeah. But if he does that, just be quicker on the subs. And then just go for it quickly. There's times in the first half, they just keep having the ball backwards, try to kick the ball. Holland, right? One moment before they scored a goal, broke away, and it could have come off. There's a bad ball, by the way. They missed Depay up front. I think Depay's fantastic. And a lone striker as well. Fantastic play up front. But when he went off, that really rattled him a little bit. But back on Southgate, for me, if he wins the trophy, I think he should walk away and just say, thanks very much. Yeah. Thanks very much. 8 years. But if he stays on, there's not a lot we can do about it. But if he goes, if he wins the trophy, he gets me blessing. But he's not my favourite manager, I'm not going to lie. But for me, if you just let the players play expression, give it a go, man. Like Spain. Spain gives it a go. That's all it is.
That's it. I mean, it could be a cracking final on Sunday as well. I'm
looking forward to watching that. I mean, Yamal again. I think that guy's fantastic. Yeah. And Neco Williams.
Well, they reckon Yamal's got £1 billion release clause. If that's to be believed or not, I don't know. But look, yeah. I mean, look, if you look at if you go through the road to the final, I mean, you go back to that first game against Serbia.
Yeah.
Yes, we went 1-0 up. And okay, fair enough. We sort of started struggling that game in the second half where it was all Serbia on top of us. We played well for that first half hour of that game. We struggled against Denmark. A game we probably should have won. We couldn't break down Slovenia. We go to the second round. We play Slovakia. We go behind because Schranz scores for Slovakia. We were literally 30 seconds from going out of the Euros until the Roy of the Rovers moment from Jude Bellingham. He's got no right to do that. He's got no right to do that. But that is the class of that kid. That is the class of that kid. And then in injury, and then when it gets to extra time, we score very early in extra time. We see that game out, win that 2-1. We then go on to the Swiss game. We go 1-0 down. We are 5 minutes later. We are back on level terms through Saka. We win it on penalties. Every single penalty that day, last Saturday, was absolutely fantastic because it was scored by penalty takers. And the one that's being talked about around Europe the most at the moment is the Ivan Toney penalty. That is the one that's being discussed around Europe and worldwide because they haven't seen anything like it. The arrogance to not look at the ball and just to look at the goalkeeper and strike it. And then last night, again, we played better in the first half. Well, I thought we played better in the game altogether. Foden turned up, actually, which was great to see. And look, There's no reason why we can't beat Spain. We've got to be positive. We can go and beat Spain. Let's go and win it. Let's go and bring the European trophy home. We've never won it before, so let's go and win it for the first time and be the holders of it.
Yeah,
Italy were the defending champions. They were poor against Switzerland, let's be honest, but they've had a poor tournament, if I'm honest with you. So, look, let's embrace it. As England fans, we should be saying we win that trophy on Sunday because we have got a great squad.
Yeah.
You know, the Spanish have got some good players. We've got some great players in our squad as well. So, the media can purr as much as they want about the Spain side. But, we've now started to turn up. That could be bad news for Spain on Sunday.
Yeah, facts. Before we go into the comments, go welcome Jamie, first time. Davey Settings. How's Jamie?
How are you doing, everyone? Hello, Tony. Hello, John. Thank you very much for having me on. I'm not doing too badly. I thought yesterday we played well enough to get to a final. And now we're one game away from winning our first ever European Championship. So I'm sure everyone watching is going to be delighted on Sunday when we hopefully bring it home.
Yeah, absolutely right. Absolutely right. People in the chat says Jamie Davey Settings as well on my channel, and he wants to come on my channel, and he's working to hopefully on a regular basis, and do show some love as well. Let's go to some comments here because we're quite behind. We're going to comment to Amanda Staveley in a bit. What's everyone's thoughts on Harry? I think he's lazy and shouldn't start on Sunday. Yeah, I tell you what, he's still playing, but he is lazy. I don't think he should play. I think Watkins should give him the start, but because it's the final, Harry Kane. It's gonna choose him all the time. Football's funny. Spain could be outplayed. England could have a blinder. Spain could have a stinker, or they both can battle royal. They're the best team win. There's no.
You do realise, John.
He's right.
You do realise.
Yeah.
You do realise if Kane scores on Sunday, he could actually win the Golden Boot because he's joint top scorer at the moment.
Absolutely, and a lot of people don't know this at all. But that's who he's going to play on Sunday. Guaranteed. I love to be at Berlin, by the way. I think Harry should not play for England after this tournament. England's team and style of play has exceeded its ability. There's strikers out there as well. Watkins, Toon as well. Southgate still needs to be fired. Yeah, well, means that. And Jobs is speaking to Ian. Cool. And my thoughts to Mark. Nah, he doesn't. His father will not let that ever happen. That's Mark again. I wonder if Eddie takes a different direction now the man is off. Look, we're going to comment that one in a few seconds, Lorraine. That's interesting. I've always thought Newcastle will be in for a new manager. And a Southgate, we didn't have enough corners. Okay, cool. And fly for this. I thought it was classy when Bellingham went round all the 11 players before he went off and celebrated. He did. Portugal scraped through Euros in 2016. Won it. They didn't play that well at all, but who cares? Yeah, fair dues. Guys, Gareth Southgate played a very dangerous game with his penalty selections of kickers. I think he has always knew exactly what he's doing. I'm happy for them. They all scored before the backlash too. And those are heard to Jamie. Honestly, not sure how Forden performers could be or class without any actual contribution, all the while throwing the midfield balance. That's a fair comment there, Mark. I won't be Jamie. I'm Scottish. And has Kane ever scored in the final in the last 10 years? No, I don't think he has. Right, let's go straight on to Amanda Staveley, guys. Sorry with you, Jamie, because you're the guest from United Radio. She's leaving Newcastle United. Sold us share a stake of 6%. The Saudis got full control by the looks of it. What's your take and what's the contribution to Newcastle United?
I think it's a shame because I think it's really hard to find owners that are inside football clubs, especially in the Premier League, that have that connection that Amanda Staveley had with the fans. Good evening to yourself, Lee. And I think it's really key for people like Amanda Staveley to come into the club when she did, take it up, got you to cup finals. And, I think it is a shame. And I'm sure you two, being the Newcastle fans, can have more insight than me. But I just know it was quite nice to see someone like her have a nice connection with fans.
Yeah. Absolutely right. I mean, Tony, look, in my opinion, right, and I could be wrong on this, I think that it's always going to be a short-term plan. Come in, let the club settle in, smooth operating, right, give her a couple of years, and then she'll just sell her stake and away she goes, yeah. But what she has done, right, she has been amazing for the football club. She's been fantastic. Everyone loves her. We love her. However, if it hasn't been for Amanda or Mehmet, we'll still be in a championship under Mike Ashley and Steve Bruce.
Yeah, I mean, John, I put a video out yesterday. If anybody hasn't seen it, go and check it out. But yeah, look, I mean, we first saw Amanda Staveley 7 years ago when she came to the Liverpool game, and she was in the stands. At the time, I wasn't sure who she was until it was mentioned at that time. She did try getting the takeover, which didn't go through at that time. But you know what? She went away. She got the back end sorted out. She came back. She came back stronger this time because she brought PIF with her, the Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia, and the Reuben brothers. You know, because we know the Reuben brothers own a lot of horse racing grounds and they own a lot of property in Newcastle as well, along with her son, Jamie. Now, she fought to get that takeover through. When they wanted to go, when they were looking about arbitration, the Premier League, then we all heard that Sky Sports News thing come out saying, "Oh well, you know, the owners have now the consortium's walked away from Newcastle; they're not going to buy it." I still to this day say that the reason to put that statement out, they never walked away. They just put that statement out to just throw the gauntlet down to the Premier League to say, right, okay, you don't want us, we'll walk away. To see if the Premier League would then turn around and go, oh, hang on, I think we need to talk with made an error here, you know. So maybe that's what that was, because it was, you know, everybody went down to London and protested, and Amanda Staveley was happy that with them doing that. She was on the Talk Sport that morning, when Simon Jordan was trying to give her a hard time. And she said, look, you know, because Simon kept asking her, are you sure they're still there? And she says, yes, the Saudis are still there. Yes, they are. And, you know, we saw the cat case come about. I sat and watched that all day, that cat case. And some of the stuff that come out from the barrister from Newcastle, I mean, it was disturbing to think that the Premier League were trying to get us kicked out of there 6 months before this. Other things the Premier League were doing to us, it was absolutely disgusting. You know, and then you've got the collective lobbying as well. And then it wasn't long after that cat case, we had that weekend, we had Steve Bruce standing the pouring rain at Wolves when we got beat 2-1. Wang scored twice against us and Hendrick had equalised for us. The Irish Pirlo, as they call them. And then a few days after that game, it was all like, oh, hang on, the takeover's on all of a sudden. And it was like, oh, hang on, what's going on here? So, you know, the takeover went through. But look, Amanda's been brilliant for this club. She's fronted the club. You know, the Saudis were happy for her to be the face of the club and everything. You know, we know she has an illness, which we know about. Now, look, at the end of the day, she's done terrific. You know, the owners brought in Eddie Howe, kept the club up, but didn't just keep, you know, we didn't win our first game until the 14th game, which was Burnley at home in that December when Callum Wilson scored the only goal of the game. And all the pundits had us going down regardless.
Yeah.
And we didn't go down. We stayed up and didn't just stay up by a small margin. We stayed up comfortably in 11th place, which was a tremendous achievement, by the way. And we spent in that window as well. And don't forget, Bruno came to the club when we won the relegation zone, and he came from a club that was playing in European competition. So, you know, he took a risk. But, you know, we stayed up. And then the following season, we get to a Carabao Cup final. We get into the Champions League for the first time in over 20 years. And, you know, maybe we should have won that Carabao Cup final. But, you know, it is what it is. And I'm sure there'll be plenty more opportunities. But look, she's been fantastic. And not just for the club as a whole, and not for just the men's team, but also for the women's team. She's always at Kingston Park for the games. You know, she was down at Luton Town. I was down there that day when, you know, that we lost the cup final. You know, we're now in the championship. We're just one division away from the WSL. You know, and they've done so much, you know. And Amanda and Mia, Dad, have to take a lot of credit for what they've done, you know. they went out, sourced the backers, got them in. Yes, we know she sold about 6-7 months ago. She sold 4% of her shares to Jamie Rubin and the Rubin brothers. So she sold that 4%. But they said the interesting thing was apparently she's only been in Saudi recently with Yasser, and by what I've saw and read in some of the written media is that the PIF have bought her 6% shares. And she's happy enough to walk away. People are saying, is it because she's going bankrupt? Look, at the end of the day, nobody knows why she's walking away. Maybe it was a planned thing. Maybe she can't afford to keep putting the money in the club because she'd have to put her share in, so maybe she's thinking she can't. Who knows? But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what it is. At the end of the day, these two have been absolutely fantastic for our club, Mia, Dad and Amanda, and you have to give them enormous credit. They've been outstanding custodians of this football club, and I'm sure we'll still continue to see them come into football games. They'll still probably come to St James's Park. They've probably got a seat for life now, and deservedly so. So look, while it's a bit of a blow that they're leaving the club, but it's not the end of the world because the club will evolve, the club will get better, and the club will get bigger. And look, as I say, John, it may be the plan that she was to move on after 3 years. Who knows? But at the end of the day, I just say well done for what them two have done for our football club. And, I'll forever thank them for what they've done because, look, our club, under that former owner of ours, who I call a tyrant, and I won't mention the man's name because that man's name's filth to me now, and it's swearing. But what that man did to our club, ruined our club for 14 years. And Amanda Staveley and the consortium have brought the feel-good factor, not just back to the club, but the whole of the city of Newcastle United as well, the whole of the city of Newcastle as well, because look, when it was under the former owner, what was the point of going to football? Because all we're watching was a dinosaur in charge of the team called Steve Bruce with dinosaur tactics, which was absolutely awful to watch. And when we went down to Brighton that day and got absolutely hammered 3-0, with him in charge, it was an embarrassment, and he still kept his job. So, thank God those days have gone now, and we can look back. We can look to better and brighter days in the future.
Yeah, facts. Absolute facts. I mean, look, at the end of the day, Louis got a comment as well. I'm going to come on to that in a minute. I'll go for the comments, have my say. The thing is, she was only a 10% order anyway. The PIF are 80% orders. They're going to have full control now by the sounds of it. And you take her, I haven't fancied Jordan, man. And I wonder if she is still going to stay as an employee. I hope she does. I really hope she does, Lorraine. I hope she does. Cannot believe about Amanda and Merad leaving, but they've been fantastic for our club. Good luck for the future. They'll always be welcome back to the club at any time. Lee, well said, man. Well said. Has Amanda actually made a statement herself yet? Not yet. No, not as far as we can look. But going back, I'll come to you, Jamie. Now, Amanda and Merad could go. Does that mean Eddie Howe, is a big ally of Amanda and Mehmed because they always back him. Always, yeah? Now they've gone. Does that mean now that Eddie's under extra pressure now to deliver this season to win the trophy or to get us in the top 5 next year? I say top 5 because you finished 5th, that can get you Champions League.
Yes. It's a weird one because obviously a change in owners is a change in a whole football club. You saw that with Mike Ashley and the new owners that you've got. There's a big change that can happen with influence inside of a football club. What I think could happen, and I think it's dependent on what happens on Sunday in the Euros final, I reckon if Gareth Southgate goes, Eddie Howe's a top contender for the England job. And I think that is a really good step up for someone like Eddie Howe, who a matter of years ago was no disrespect, but he was at a club like Bournemouth. And now he's been playing managing in Champions League. And yeah, I do think that there is added pressure for Eddie Howe because trophies is success in football, and there's been no trophies under his reign just yet. But yeah, there possibly could be, but it obviously depends on what owners are coming in. They could be stricter, they could be more lenient, they could want to pump less money into the club. So ultimately, it is the owners, and there's currently obviously the PIF will now take over 80% of the club or 90% of the club, which would mean more investment, or it could just mean the same investment. So it does change in some aspects, but I suppose you have to wait and find out. But for Eddie Howe personally, I think he could leave come the end of the next season.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Commentators take on that in a minute. I really don't think so straightforward. Something has brought this on, and I thought she would want to stay until we won a trophy. You know what? I'm gutted that she's going. Yeah, that would have been a dream to see Amanda Staveley stay in Newcastle to win us a trophy, and we nearly did it at Wembley. And did the Reuben brothers buy Amanda shares of the club? I'm not sure.
They bought 4% off her about 7 or 8 months ago, and they took their share up to 14%. But by reading what I've read is PIF have bought the other 6%, and they are now up to 86% share in the club. So that's what they're saying. So, but again, until there's I really do hope the club make a statement. On this as well. Interesting thing was developments tonight as well regarding Newcastle. Come out from Craig Hope. This was at 7:05 tonight. This is interesting news.
Yeah.
James Bunce. So it's Bunce, not Bruce, by the way. Bunce, ex-Monaco performance director, will be joining new sporting director Paul Mitchell at Newcastle United as a restructuring of the hierarchy continues. It's likely his role will be director of performance. So basically, James Bunce was basically working alongside Paul Mitchell at Monaco as his assistant sort of thing. So, and now he's coming to Newcastle United as well. It looks like big things are happening at the top end of the tree at Newcastle. And look, everything we're doing is professional for the club. You know, We've got rid of the stake, Ashworth, and we haven't just replaced him with any sporting director. We've replaced him with an elite sporting director. Now, I'm not saying Ashworth's a bad sporting director because he's got a good record, but he ain't got the record of Paul Mitchell.
Okay.
So, look, we're bringing all these top people in. The media are saying that obviously Paul Mitchell will have full control of transfers, which I think might take the heat off Eddie Howe a bit as well. So all Eddie Howe's got to do is coach the team rather than have to worry about what players we're going to buy. That'll be down to Paul Mitchell. But yeah, what's your thoughts on that, John? James Bunce coming into the club.
Interesting one for me. I think he's going to come in and he's going to be he's going to sort out various departments of organisations like medicine, sports science, like you said, and also look at the squad as well and make the squad better. So, like you said, he's going to be coming in. They're going to make it professional. He's going to be one of the elite sporting director. Well, not quite sporting director, like you said, but for me, he used to work with Paul Mitchell at Monaco, so that'd be interesting. I don't know anything about this guy, but I'll find out more about him. It'd be really interesting, but you never know. So hopefully it'll take the heat of Eddie Howe on the transfer side and Paul Mitchell. Let's hope Paul finds some great players. I mean, Danny, what's his name? Daniel, that Spanish guy, Olmo?
Olmo.
That's the one, Daniel Olmo from Leipzig. If he's still at Leipzig, that'd be a cracking buy, by the way. We should see what happens on that one. So, but it'd be interesting. I'm really suspicious of the fact that was a 5-year project, and she hasn't stayed enough to see it through. That's what Lorraine's a bit suspicious.
I wouldn't be worried about that.
Nah, I wouldn't neither. But he's doing, but not me. The former owner at the backbone of the club put us down twice. Didn't give a damn about the players and our fans as well. Well said, Lee. Fact. I found it strange Amanda in Newcastle has not been a statement about them leaving us. I think they need to make a statement ASAP because if they don't, then it's just going to leave us in the shadow. Yeah, but they don't have to do anything. Shut up, yeah. Some of the fan base on social media, need to wind their necks in. Big up to Mick. Hope you're well, mate. Let's go. It doesn't mean that Eddie's going next as performance director. We're working closer with the sporting director. Hopefully the performance director will work close with the medical team. That's what we need, Jimmy. We need our medical staff to be up to scratch. Till it's just left in a minute.
Yes, of course you do. I mean, when you had Paul Dummett, I mean, is he still at the club?
No, he's gone.
He's gone. Well, you had players like that, and there
He's
were,
done.
and it does make me laugh. Where before you had the takeover, when you were losing, there was players that were more injury prone than what they were when the takeover happened. Joe Linton, for example, he wasn't performing under Mike Ashley's reign, and then the new owners come in, and all of a sudden, wow, he's a good player. Where was he? Where's he been for the last 5 years? So yes, of course, you need a new medical team. You need a better medical team, and you need them to all work together. And that's going to be very important going into Eddie Howe's next season in charge, or a new manager. You never know.
Yeah, you know what it is, right? I mean, I love Eddie Howe. Yeah, I get a lot of people saying that, if he doesn't perform this season, if he does get us in the top four, win us a trophy, I think he'd be gone. I think he'd be gone. But you know what? Now Amanda and Rims are going to back him up. Unfortunately, Paul Mitchell might need his own person. Do you know what I mean? In the future, you just never know. But totally, I mean, I ask this question every single time: is Eddie under pressure next season to deliver under Paul Mitchell, because he might want his own guy?
I think he is, John. I think he is. You know, I mean, look, we've heard from Eddie in the past saying that the England job, he's not really one for doing that at the moment. He likes the day-to-day club. But now, this is what I've said many a time, and people keep saying, oh, well, Eddie won't take the England job. Right. If Southgate leaves after these Euros, hopefully if we win it on Sunday and he goes out on a high and says, I'm obviously not straight away, he'll tell it. He might say it the next day that he's resigned as England manager, or a few days later, which is fine, because, you don't want to take that moment away from the players by saying you've resigned, and then it takes all the gloss off winning the Euros. So, but look, if Southgate goes, we know the FA are after Eddie Howe. And Eddie Howe is the most popular choice among England fans to get that job as manager, because of the style of football Eddie Howe plays. That's what they like. Now, what I've said before is, yes, okay, Eddie Howe said it in the past and people have picked up on it that he's not interested. But if Newcastle say it to Eddie Howe, just go and have a speak to the FA. We'll let you speak to them. He sits down with the FA and speaks to them. Eddie Howe might be sitting there thinking, I know I said I wouldn't take the job, but look at the talented players that's in that squad. Look at Bellingham. He's a £105 million player and he's only 21. He's got years to go yet. Phil Foden's still got a good few years in him. All the young players coming through. Mainu, there's lots coming through. Lewis Hall at left back for us. Eddie Howe may think, do you know what? I've got a huge talent of players coming through. If I take this job now, 2 years' time, I could be a World Cup winning manager. And could that be too much? Could Eddie Howe then think, that's too much to turn down? I can't turn that opportunity down. I have to do it. And people might say, oh, no, but Eddie won't go. But look, you don't know what things like this could do to you. I mean, if you're in a job and somebody else offers you a job at another company and you think, oh, well, I'm happy in this job, but they offer you a job with more money but less hours, you're going to think, but in that new job you're going to do, the benefits are going to be a lot better. So you may think, do you know what? It's too much to turn down. I can't turn it down. And Eddie Howe may think that. He may think the fact that he could win the World Cup in 2 years' time, he might say, I'm taking it. Who knows? Yes, okay, he won't be doing day-to-day club stuff. But, I don't know. I just got the feeling if he's interviewed by the FA, I think he may find it too hard to turn down. I might be wrong. People might, And look, if Eddie Howe doesn't want in the job and he's offered it and he doesn't take it, I don't mind. That's fine. He can stay at Newcastle. But all I'm saying is, I'm just trying to put it into perspective and trying to put it into terms that he just may find the pull of it too hard to turn down. That's the thing.
Yeah. Do you believe that? Go Go on, Tony.
And we've seen Klopp's already turned down the USA job today as well. Doesn't want that job. And if I'm honest, as an England man, if I want an England manager in there, I would have Eddie Howe there, because I do not want to see Potter anywhere near that England football team.
I agree. And
can't stand Potter.
I mean, he leads clubs to dry as well, doesn't he? I wouldn't have it at Newcastle United. Not a chance. I can see us signing two top players in the summer. Let's go some more comments. So we take Jamie's content before we wrap up the show. Me too, Gary. There's something not right, and some are saying Amanda's had a rift with the PIF. That is true. That ain't good. And even to admit, by the way, will Amanda leaving with Darren be the one to speak up for the fans? Well, I think someone's going to need to speak up for the fans, because at the minute, everyone's quiet in the minute. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Thank you very much indeed, Lee. I appreciate that, mate. And I agree with Tony. Eddie's gone next if that England job comes available. That's from Lorraine. And I think if Eddie did that, the England job could be a massive gamble in my eyes. And that's from Gary. And the fact that Eddie's put his heart in Newcastle may want to see it through and bring a trophy to Newcastle. Jamie, your take on Eddie Howe. Do you think he'll be the next England manager if they come calling for him? Because I'm worried now.
Well, I think Tony had quite a good input there. I really think that it might be too good to turn down. However, we're talking about English managers in Graham Potter and in Eddie Howe. What about the other managers that aren't English? Because England haven't usually gone for English managers to go for their jobs. Italian managers we've seen in the past, Swedish managers, all sorts of nationalities. And that might not make a difference. But to be honest, there's not a good market for managers right now. And I think Southgate, although fans are starting to turn on him maybe a bit, and now we've seen it now we're in the final, they're liking him a bit more. I have got a feeling that he could stay. I've said it though, I think he will go, but there is a possibility that he might stay. But if he was to go, Eddie Howe would be the front runner. If Eddie Howe was to turn it down, it would probably be Graham Potter. If he turns it down, then it might be a foreign manager. And I'm all for that, to be honest, because we see with English managers, they like to play quite similar systems. We don't really see too much different. I don't know the word. You don't see different things from English managers, but we see with Pep, with Klopp, with Arteta, they're really attacking. They go all out, all out attack, which is what we have right now. We've got the best positions in our team are attacking midfield. We haven't got a great defence, and we've got an aging defence as well with Kyle Walker. However, we need to make the most of this attack, and you're better than me at talking about Newcastle, so I'm sure you'll be able to say this in a moment. But I think Eddie Howe might not be the right man to win us a World Cup. Do you think he's able to win us a World Cup?
It's a tough one. Listen, if he plays attacking football where he does, then and the players goes with it, I think he's got a great chance, a really good chance. What we don't want to see in the World Cup is England, Italy, Uruguay, or Ivory Coast in the next round of the World Cup. If that happens, I think we'll go through, but that'd be a shocker, an absolute shocker. But for me, like Tony said, if England comes calling for him, I think he'll go. I don't want Eddie Howe to go, but I'm worried if his name gets mentioned. If he's favourite, and if you're favorite for an England job, then they go. Simple as that. They just go. Sven Goran Eriksson's favourite, hot favourite, when he left Lazio to come to us. Yeah, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. But
would you think that he'd go in this summer? I mean, who would replace Eddie Howe currently? Is there a manager in the market that catches your eye?
For me, Eddie's going to be manager. Yeah, for me, I would have gone for the first choice. Right, would have gone for Michel for Girona. I'd take him. Diego's going to be able to speak a word of English. He's out of it, unfortunately. Simone Sagi, I take. There's one guy I take, and totally agree with as well, Roberto Mancini.
I would have Mancini all day. Yeah, definitely, John. He's a good manager, a crack manager. Just looking at the bet odds at the moment, I mean, Graham Potter's evens and Eddie Howe's 5-2. So they're both hot favourites up there. And then next in line is Pochettino at 4-1. Then Klopp at 10-1. So,
come on, we need Klopp. We need Klopp in that England job.
You're taking the first. I don't think you'd take the. I don't think you'd probably take the German job. You'd take the German job if Nagelsmann.
Pochettino's not a bad shout, though, is it? I mean, I really wouldn't mind Pochettino. He did really good at Spurs. Chelsea, he started to do well at the end. And I think he was unfortunate to lose his job. Yeah. But I think because of that Tottenham era that he had in his career, I think that holds him on to the England job, and I really wouldn't mind that. I mean, he plays a good attacking football. I like the way he plays. Harry Kane won't be in the picture by then, which is thank God for that, because he needs to go. But yeah, Pochettino, I really wouldn't mind him, definitely more than Graham Potter.
Yeah, I tell you, I wouldn't have Graham Potter in at all. No way. What's he done? Chelsea absolutely destroyed him. But
I think it was crazy to turn down the Ajax job.
Exactly. I don't get that.
Yeah.
And then he left Leicester in the lurch saying that I'll go away and think about it. Leicester said, okay, you do that. Off you go. We take on Steve Cooper. Bosh. And Eddie won't leave the club for England. He likes being hands on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
Hands on a weekly basis. For me, it'd be board stiff, as in Mr. Riddle. And big up to Mary. Hope you're well. Hi to you. Can you get Casey as a guest? Give us an inside info. I'm not sure. Queen Heart, how you doing? And Ethan say hi. Just waking up. It's been out for my birthday. Happy birthday, Mary, today.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Mary. You deserve it, man. And just a quick one before we wrap up the show. And we do. Jamie, did I ask you, are England going to beat Spain on Sunday?
I keep asking people around me a very similar question. Is it easier to go into Sunday playing Spain, or is it an easier game going into Italy in 2020? And I think both sides are really equal, but I think Spain are just the better team. But we've improved a lot since then. And in this tournament, we've seen that we're getting better and better. And what I've liked is our responsiveness. We concede a goal and we come back. We're not out of the game when we concede a goal. And that's what I like. I like that we always have a chance to come back in a game. I'd like to say we're going to win it, but we all know what Spain's like. And I would think, if you're going to write a script here, I think the script would be written for England to win it, because they got to the final last time and they lost. But are we good enough to win it? Of course. Will we concede a late goal and lose it? Probably, yes. So I think we will lose, but I think we're putting a good shift, and it could go to extra time, and hopefully not, but it could go to penalties as well. But I think if it's a normal time game, it'll be Spain 2, England 1.
Cool. And I'm going to say, this is a hard one for me. I'm going to say, I can say once each, goes to penalties, could go either way.
Yeah.
And what about you, Tony? Predictions for the England-Spain game? I know you say you're going to win.
I'm going to say England 2-1. I think the way we turned up yesterday, we played much better yesterday. A lot of players sort of turned up yesterday as well, which is a good sign. The coaching team will no doubt be looking to watch how Spain play. There'll be no R&R for England. It'll be all focused now on the final.
Yeah.
Knowing that we've been to one final and lost it on penalties, we'll not want to make it 2 in a row to lose. And I think this squad will be up for it. I mean, John Stones has been playing well throughout this tournament. Let's be honest. He had a cracking game yesterday as well. It's centre back. So, I mean, look, I think England will win this 2-1. I'm going to say, let's score a last-minute goal. I would love to see that.
The most iconic goal probably ever scored.
Yeah. Can you imagine if Gordon comes off the bench, John, and just scores the last-minute goal and wins England the Euros? That
it's
would just
exciting
be the
time.
icing on the cake.
I just want to say, did you see the thing on Twitter? And I saw it on TikTok, where Southgate's changed its approach to penalties, where the players that end the game are all around Southgate in a circle. So Harry Kane, who got taken off, for example, wasn't included in the circle, and then every player's assigned a buddy. So that buddy's meant to big them up, give them confidence, and if they miss, they're meant to consolidate them. But they've also been, which you would have thought they would have been taught anyway, but they've been taught how to breathe and use these techniques. And on average, England players took 2 seconds longer to take a penalty, so it can calm their nerves. And I thought, wow, what penalties they all were as well. It's giving me confidence if we go to penalties.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm confident going to penalties now, like really confident. But Simon is a fantastic keeper. He's a penalty expert as well.
Yes.
But you know what? And then again, Jan Sommer's a penalty expert as well. But we put 5 past him anyway. So I'm confident going into it now because penalties, I fancy it. I really do fancy it. So Sunday, it'll be interesting. Let's hope we do it inside 90.
I mean, the odds for Sunday, Spain are 7-5 to win, 19-10 for the draw, and 11-5 for England to win.
Spain slightly favourites then. So
Slightly.
That's surprising. Going into it, we were favourites, but that's surprising. Maybe it's the way that we played. Hasn't been good enough, has it?
Nah,
but we'll have to wait and see.
Wait and see. Go for this comments, guys, as well for a closer show. Been a great show. Thank you very much, loads. Make sure you come on again. And everyone's spot on. Come on, England. Let's have it. Let's win the cup home. Because they're 4-0. It's called Happy Fatigue Day. As for England game, 2-1 to Spain. They have only lost once in the qualifiers, whereas England struggled and not been that good. Spain are hungry for this game. And great banter. Thanks, Mr. Little. Thank you very much indeed, Mick. Then Southgate Owlsford stuff. But yeah, I've seen that as well. That's hilarious as well. Just to wrap up the show, right? Just a quick one. I mean, the two wingers, Jimmy, Neco Williams and Yamal, as well. Great. Two young players. I tell you what, they're destined for the top. If they are going to win the game, they have to be quiet. Rodri in the midfield. Well.
Yeah, but I think with players like Kyle Walker, I mean, if we're going to go in the back three, which I think's gone in our favour in the last two games, I like the way that Southgate experimented late on in the tournament, but it worked in our favour. Obviously, they're wingers, so we'll need to probably change our system and not play three at the back if we want to go more of a balanced setup. But I think, is it Yamal? He's probably a bit better than Williams, but they're really good players, the pair of them, and I think they could do some damage to us on Sunday.
Yeah. Tony, Yamal, that guy, 16 years of age. Is he better than Miggy?
Oh, definitely, John. Definitely streets ahead. I mean, look, the guy, the 16-year-old, it's fantastic, isn't it? It's like, remember we took a 16-year-old called Theo Walcott the World Cup. So look, yeah, it is. I mean, that's just something of the scores there, John. It says for Spain to win 1-0 is 5-1, but for England to win 1-0, 13-2.
Wow, 13-2. There's value there, isn't there? 32 is definitely value. Definitely value there. But very interesting. But if
it went to penalties, John, I'd be confident because I think we would win it on penalties. Pickford's good on penalties, isn't he? And
we got good.
I know you say Simon's good on penalties, but
do you take Kane off? Because we saw Kane come off in the other game
twice.
But I mean, I wouldn't start it personally, but he's going to start. He's probably going to end up taking a penalty, isn't he? But that penalty that he took the other day was confident, but the keeper went the right way. So you never know with those.
Yeah, but there was nobody the keeper was saving that penalty, and that
of course not.
And I've said to people, the thing is, the amount of pressure in a semi-final to take that penalty when your team's 1-0 down, that must be an awful lot of pressure, and you've got to be able to handle that pressure. And and he's obviously handled that pressure very well to put it away. But Verbruggen was nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. It was a well-placed penalty with plenty of power and pace.
Absolutely. Totally agree. No one is going to save those as well. I mean, Verbruggen didn't do that much, did he? 2 goals went past him. That was it. But other than that, I mean, I thought Holland will need to change their teams up as well because they got an aging team as well, especially with Van Dijk in as well and Vegas as well and a couple of other players in that team as well. And as for England, we're going to do this. So we'll see what happens on Sunday. So guys, going to wrap up the show there. Thanks so much indeed for that. And I know it's been a long one tonight, but so Jamie, debut settings, man. Did you enjoy it, man?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm sorry that I couldn't make the whole show. I had a meeting with a local football club, but I hope this is the first of many. I'm talking to Tony when I come back from holiday in probably about 3 or 4 weeks. I'm looking forward to that. John, you're always welcome to come on to my stuff as well, and hopefully this is one of the first ones that I'll be able to do on here as well. And I really thank you for tonight, and thank you everyone at home as well for watching.
Fantastic stuff. Don't go away yet because we can find you as well, Tony. Not Jamie, sorry. We can find you as well on your channel, on your YouTube and channels.
Yeah, just on everywhere. My name here, Jamie McCready. It'll come up on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and that's me, I suppose.
Cool stuff. And Tony, what you got coming up, my guy? And where can we find you?
Yeah, so you can find me on this All Black and White TV, which is behind, it's behind me there on the screen. If, as I say, I put out a video yesterday about Amanda Staveley, so if you haven't seen that, go out and check it out, give it a like. If you're new to the channel, go and give it a subscribe as well. I'm 9 away from 1,200 now. So at the moment I haven't got anything coming up unless I do some sort of pre-match, but I'm not sure what time I'm getting home because I'm actually in Newcastle on Saturday. I'm going to visit family on Saturday.
Yeah.
So I may do something when I'm up there.
Right.
So do keep an eye out for that. Depending what time I get back Sunday. If I'm back Sunday early enough, I will do a pre-match show. So do keep an eye out for that one. I am aiming to try and get to a fan zone somewhere. So hopefully if I can get to a fan zone, I'll try and do a bit of vlogging from there. If I had been able to take Monday off from work, I would have been tempted to go to Berlin for the fan zone this weekend to be there. But unfortunately, I can't get Monday off work, so I can't go. And I'm gutted about that because I would have quite happily gone, even if I had to go around the houses to go and get there. You know, if I had to go to wherever, Poland or Slovakia or whatever, to get through to Germany, I would have had to do it. But I just looked at flights to like from where I near me, I'm about 40 minutes from Stansted. And flights to Poland are all sold out, believe it or not. So that's because everybody's trying to get around that way as well, because they can get a train from Poland straight to Germany. So yeah, it's madness. It's absolutely madness. I mean, if I was to drive, it's a 10-hour drive from Calais to Berlin.
Bloody hell, Berlin's far out. East Germany, that's the eastern side of Germany.
Yeah,
I mean, it's one nation that's on the east side of Germany, way out, totally way out. But
as I say, I'm a bit gutted that I couldn't get the Monday off. But if I could have had Monday off, yeah, I would have definitely have gone. I would have gone
to Berlin. Wow.
Yes,
what about you, Jay? Would you have gone to Berlin, Jamie, if you had your way?
Absolutely. I think anyone would go to Berlin if we had our own way. But unfortunately, that is not happening. So at home, I'll have to be watching it from here. But I hope it's just as good of an atmosphere. We can make it at home, and hopefully we can bring it home, I suppose. And then if we don't, it just goes on holiday to Spain for a few years. 4 years later, we come back and we win it again. So yeah. But if we had our way, we'd definitely go over to Berlin.
Yeah, absolutely. Without getting to the stadium as well, but just for the atmosphere. But yeah, I'm going to do it in 2 years' time. I'm going to do America in 2 years' time for the World Cup. I might not get a ticket, but you know what? I'm going to go for the atmosphere because I want to do me vlogs from there as well. So that'd be fantastic. Go different places to see where the fans are going to be. I'm going to be joining the fun as well. So keep your eyes peeled for that one as well. 2 years' time, I'll be there. So, guys, thanks for coming on. Don't go away. I will do backstage. And guys, like the video, like what you watch. I should be here in a couple more days' time, hopefully for the transfer show, because that's the best time to do a transfer on the weekend as well. Thanks to everyone in the chat as well. You've been fantastic. Thanks to Tony. Thanks to Jamie as well. And if you like what you watch, and Tony, thanks very much indeed for that. And you have a good evening, what you decide to do, guys. And let's go for Harry's opinions. Big up to you, Harry. Hope you're well, mate. And I hope a fantastic. Just signing off, mate. And but make sure you comment again. Great to see you, folks. See you on Sunday, hopefully, folks. No problem at all. And I'll see you back to the next one. And have a fantastic evening, guys.